Hey yo, another watch list. We got a bunch of action here today. A lot of small caps moving. Zap is kind of leading the charge here, going from 3 to 18. I was happy with my decision to avoid this on a gap up. I just figured it would be a bit difficult. I'd much rather wait for this thing to be red on the day. But this thing's taken sympathies with it. So that one is Zap Electric Vehicles Group, and it's kind of moving. Like, you got OPTT as a power name, and then you've got VVPR here after hours, and which other ones? Maxon. This is another one I'm watching. But yeah, a bunch of names that it's taking with it. You had Peggy here today, 100% mover, recent reverse split. So you got a bunch of these power names, so I think that sector is worth watching, hence why I've thrown Maxon on watch, where you got this gap down fader, no overhead resistance. Volume-wise, it's churning quite a bit. I think if this thing breaks out and gets some legs, we could get that billion share day, and then those often lead to gappers. So I'll be looking for a breakout trade on something like this. SNGX was the shiny object of the day, which means I avoid, but just because it's still up 250% of the day, I'm going to keep it on watch. I think any pops back towards 10 likely fail. History of one-day runs, so this thing likely trickles off. Most people probably forget about it and move to the next shiny object tomorrow, so I'd imagine this thing has a quiet fader on it. VVPR breaking out here after hours in the 330s. Close here was around the 260s, so it'll be quite a gap up. I don't like to chase these breakouts on a gap over the breakout level. I'm going to mark this just because it's shown that it's come in play twice now. But yeah, if this thing gets an open below that 330 line, even towards this after hours support here in the 290s, I'd like a little weak open there and then potential join. IVP was my watch from yesterday, basically my only watch that I felt was actionable. I got that weak open that I was looking for, gap down. It was a bit harsh of a gap down, bigger than I expected. But I put some on here out of the open on the opening range high daybreak, stopped under low a day. It held pre-market support, and we got this big dip rip candle. So I put some more on and then sold just into looking left levels here. I do kind of like this thing here for a breakout play over the 310s. Just when I got back to desk here, I wasn't able to put any trades back on. But we'll see if this thing gaps, or ideally a flat open, another 310 hold, a 3 to 310 hold, and then potential red to green. Zap, I'd be looking for a first red day here. Hard to ignore this thing now that it's really starting to speed up. Volume-wise, I would have preferred the volume to keep getting bigger today, but nice squeeze out nonetheless. Has yet to go red since $3. So now a 3 to 18 move is very interesting to me. VRPX, potential T+1 trade. Likely everybody's forgot about this one again. Was the shiny object of this day. People are trying to figure it out in this channel. It puts in another sideways day, falls off people's radar. I'll be looking for an early entry on this thing to break out tomorrow. Ideally it builds and breaks through the 130s, and then once it hits percent gainers, people start to chase it, and that's when I'm looking to lock in. KOSS was a nice first green day here today. I had said I wanted a gap down towards 8, and we only got down into the 9s, so I ended up missing this one, unfortunately. It was straight up out of the gates anyways. So the pullback entry would have been 960s, would have been risking 50 cents, and you had about $3 a reward. So a decent little 5 to 1, 6 to 1 trade if you nailed it perfectly. Likely more of a 3 to 1 kind of single there. But nice sort of setup. I would have preferred one more red day. It would have been really A+ going into Wednesday. But going to be taking this one off watch now. I had said on my watch list last week This parabolic, I figured the red days and backside would be a bit choppy, but I'd be looking for a first green day. And it came and went. I just ended up missing it because it didn't come into my wheelhouse back into this consolidation zone. OPTT, given the sector and names that are moving, volume is still churning here, sort of an intradaily ABCD. If this thing starts to build over 50 cents, I think we get a nice multi-day breakout here. Moving this one up to kind of a third eye watch side chart. I'm just going to keep an eye, given the names that are moving, the sector that's moving. If this one catches a bid and volume starts to roll back into this one, I'll be keeping an eye. SNOA, I want to throw this one back on radar now that it's had 2 red days. See if it starts to support here over the 26s. And then a re-break of 33, then it'd be a nice sort of multi-day structure. KTRA is still kind of sideways, just keeping it on radar, looking for that break over 35 still. So a bunch of small caps moving. It's kind of crazy out there. So just to narrow it back in, we've got Maxon, potential 30s breakout trade in the sector. SNGX, quiet fader on pops, back to 10. VVPR, weak open red to green for that 330 breakout. IVP, weak open 310 hold, red to green shove. First red day, if this thing goes green to red, look for a pullback to the 4 EMA. VRPX, T+1, multi-day breakout. And then OPTT, SNOA, KTRA, a couple slower movers, but looking for big picture setups there. Lots to watch, but we'll narrow it in, seeing which way things are gapping, where volume's flowing pre-market. And yeah, good commentary in the room today, and I will see you guys there again tomorrow. Take it easy.